Hello, Big Brother fans. I know I wasn't here from the episode from Sunday night. Work has been super crazy. And really, there wasn't a whole lot to talk about on that episode. So, or at least stuff that I was able to pick up, to point out. However, I didn't get the chance to rewind and rewatch Sunday's as well as last night's episode, so we're going only on the stuff that caught my attention right away, and I was able to write down. I just thought that Rachel and Brendan falling for one another was just too cute for words. She reminds me a lot of Holly from The Girls Next Door, don't you think? Just the way she talks and expresses herself, where they sound like really airheads, but they're really not. You know what I mean? Although I'm beginning to wonder about her. I mean, just in ways of, is she really as smart as we think she is? But anyway, and then Reagan and Annie sharing with Reagan about her bisexuality. I thought that was really cute. Like family. Lane and his weird stupidity. Sometimes I'm beginning to wonder if that isn't just a ploy to make you not think about him as a saboteur. Because his line of, I don't know if I know what a brigade is. I mean, I guess it could happen that someone doesn't know what a brigade is, but okay. The names that Enzo was giving everybody for their nicknames or whatever. Notice no one was using them at all in last night's episode. So what was the point other than, Enzo's getting on my nerves just a tiny little bit, thinking that he's running the entire show, but then Hayden seems to be allowing him to do so. So who am I to say? It was interesting that the saboteur chose Kathy and Brittany, and then it was over into last night's episode, where the saboteur then pointed out that there are two people in the house that have known each other for an entire lifetime. Okay. We'll get back to that in a second when we move on to the next episode. Okay. I did write down here that Britt and Kathy are both from Arkansas. And that they, actually, you know what? Yeah. I wrote last night's episode notes along the same page as the Sunday one, so I might as well move smoothly, I guess, not so smoothly, into that thought. I did go back and flip back into my notes where I saw that Brittany and Kathy are both from Arkansas. And when Kathy introduced herself, she said that she's 40 years old and has a 22-year-old son. When Brittany introduced herself, she said she was a 22-year-old recently engaged woman from Arkansas. Now, take away the son, add in a daughter, add in the idea that the saboteur chose Kathy and Brittany to cross out on the wall of pictures from the last episode, and add in last night's hint. I'm going to guess that those are the two people, because even though Kathy obviously didn't know Brittany for her entire life, she's known Brittany for Brittany's entire life, if they are mother and daughter. And someone else has also said that on one of my last in the comments on one of my last video, but I'm going to assume that person watches the feeds, the after nights, late night, blah blah blah, and I'm just going off of what I see on TV. I haven't even been able to read anything at Joker's. Yeah, it's been pretty crazy, people. Some of the slip-ups on the way people say things, I've always found it interesting, where recently someone wrote to me and said that her husband is a pallbearer, Pawbear, instead of a pallbearer, Pallbearer. So I always find things like that interesting. Like, do people just hear these things and accept that that's the way they are, and not research what, you know what I'm saying? I'm just beginning to wonder about stuff like that, because Annie said I don't trust her with a 10-foot pole about Brittany. I don't trust her with a 10-foot pole. And Brittany saying that someone was getting off scotch-free. I thought, I don't know. It's like, do these people just hear these things and, you know, and it becomes in their head, and they don't want to know the reasons behind this? Because I'm the queen of Google. I admit it every single day. I probably Google about 50 times a day, because if there's something that I don't know what it is and I don't know its background or whatever, you know, I'm going to Google it and I'm going to find out. And of course, you can't read, can't believe everything that's on the internet, right? Especially Wikipedia. This is, yeah. Anyway, I thought it was interesting that, sorry about that, Brendan threatened Hayden. I found that really interesting. I don't know that has ever been, no, I'm sure it's been used in the past. But I just found it interesting to say, am I the person you really want to come after? Because if I get off, I'm coming after you. And I just found that really interesting that he just came, you know, straight up and told the guy straight up, and then all of a sudden he's the POV owner, and now Hayden is going to have to watch his ass. That is going to be really interesting to watch. And the other thing is that I can't understand how come people are noticing that Rachel and Brendan and Annie are spending so much time together, and yet this brigade, no one's noticing that, you know, all these men are just hanging out 24/7 up in the HOH room together, and no one? Oh, and one thing that totally disgusted me was, you know, that the rancid mayo and stuff, and then Andrew, Captain whatever, Captain Kosher, they're calling him, said that the mayo is kosher, and so he could go ahead and eat it up, and that was so, oh, that's nasty. The words that they came up with were really interesting, and I was going to point out really quickly, like, you know, the doctor saying, I'm a doctor, so I can come up with any word that I want to, and blah, 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 blah. And then he misspelled pasteurized. And then he came on saying that he did it on purpose. Did he really do it on purpose, misspelling and stuff? And last but not least, has anybody any idea as to who they really think the saboteur is? You know, for a while there, I was thinking, that it might possibly be Kathy. Then I was thinking that it might possibly be Brittany. And now I'm thinking, okay, maybe it's Lane. I don't think that they've given us enough hints. And someone else pointed out that it's too quick, that they're going to tell us who the saboteur is. I agree with as well. There was something else I wanted to talk about. Oh, and then the other thing about Brittany and Kathy was, remember how I pointed out in my last video that how Kathy jumped down and immediately ran to Brittany to see if she was okay, even though they were on opposite teams, and it totally shut down the game. That was another thing that kind of just said, oh yeah, they're mother and daughter. So it will be interesting to see once they've revealed the saboteur, if the saboteur will go ahead and tell us who, or, you know, if the housemates are going to continue on with trying to figure out who it is. And I've talked way too long, and this was really choppy, and I apologize. Yeah, I'm hoping to get back on tonight, but more than likely it'll be tomorrow. So until then, people,